Sailing boat. Parang.
Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm truly grateful. So many channels you could be watching. You're watching mine. People say, well, why do you keep saying that? Because I'm not going to ever take this for granted. And it's the truth. It's the real truth. But there's genius that exists all over the planet. And the Philippines is no exception. The development of Boracay as a tourist mecca in the Philippines and one of the premier beaches in the world is pure genius. This used to be just a sleepy island. But the promotion, the marketing is pure genius. It's a beautiful place. One of the favorite places that I love to go here. And I'm making my video like this today because I want to give you some depth of how big this beach really is. It's huge. Just walking up and down it doesn't do it any justice. I'm thinking about flying Maryland out here and staying another week. It's just so beautiful. But what I wanted to talk about today was the raw truth about the Philippines. And can you stand it? And I got this idea from a friend last night. His name is Will. We call him Willie. He's a blind gentleman. He's blind now. He had a retina disease that rendered him blind maybe 10 or 12 years ago. He started coming to the Philippines about 1988. He said to me after dinner, he said, Calvin, I don't get it. He said, what's the hype about the Philippines? He said, it's always been the women for me. Even all the way back then, he said. He said, I don't get it. What's the hype? And we went on to have a discussion because the real truth, because I'm going to talk about the real truth and the raw truth. The real truth is there's more to the Philippines than women. Much, much more. Okay? But the raw truth is thousands of men are being lured to the Philippines by the promise of young, beautiful women and sex. Let's be honest. That's the raw, unspoken truth. Sex sells in the Philippines as it does all over the world. But the power of the media, and again, the genius of the media, they flip the script. They want you to think that we're over here taking advantage of women when there's far more foreign victims than Filipino victims. Okay? And all you have to do is look at some of my videos, some of the horror stories. I haven't seen many over here about Filipinos losing 10 million, 12 million, 20 million pesos. I had a gentleman I interviewed yesterday. He's out of 11 million pesos. But the raw, unspoken truth is men are being lured over here, okay? And we're not doing the exploiting. The real truth is this. Here's the real truth. Filipinos are being exploited. That's the real truth. But the raw, unspoken truth is it's Filipinos that are exploiting Filipinos. Now you say, oh, Calvin, you can't say that. You're going to get deported. Look, man, as a black man growing up in America, in 2023, there's nobody exploiting black people more than black people. Case in point, the rap industry, rap music is one of America's biggest exports to the world. Performed by black artists, exploiting black people. That's just one example. But it's not just specific to the Philippines. Chinese exploit Chinese. Japanese exploit Japanese. Australians exploit Australians. Y'all get the point I'm trying to make. So when somebody says, oh, you're over here exploiting Filipinos, you say nobody exploits Filipinos more than Filipinos, okay? Let's take a look at something else that crossed my mind today. When I said it out of my own mouth, I said that... No, sir, not now. Thank you. I said that there's a whole lot of information on the Philippines on YouTube and social media and different places. I actually said too much. That's the real truth. But the raw, unspoken truth is we know very little about this place. What we don't know about the Philippines far outweighs what we know. All these vlogs, blogs, documentaries, you're getting a limited view. And it's a biased view. It would take you forever if you could ever get to see all of the Philippines, because a lot of the Philippines is unseen. It's invisible. It's hidden up in the mountains, off-road. And there's just people that you're never going to come in contact with. You're never going to hear their story. So what you're really getting is stories from the fringes. We're on the outside, really. So yeah, the real truth is, yeah, there's too much information out here about the Philippines, but the raw and spoken truth is we know very little about this place. When I introduced the Ada woman on my live stream yesterday, people like to have a fit. I mean, the other day before yesterday, they like to have a fit. Yeah, those are original Filipinos, but we don't know. We know very little about that. No one's really had a real up close and personal view or interview with an Ada tribe member who spoke good English, who could really tell their story clearly and what they face over here in the Philippines, and life as part of the Ada tribe is really like over here. So yeah, there's a lot of information out here, but the fact of the matter is we know very little about the Philippines. Here's something else. Here's the real truth. The cost of living over here in the Philippines is less than what it is in the West. That's the real truth. But the raw, unspoken truth is you can very easily spend all your money over here. And most of us do. Most of us expats over here live month to month because we're unable to manage a budget. You hear that word budget all the time, but it's extremely hard to manage a budget. If it was so easy, everybody would have a budget. Everybody would stick to their budget. We'd save 10% of our money. We'd be able to live out our dreams. But the raw and spoken truth is most of us live month to month because we spend too much time in vacation mode. We never relinquish that. Most of us never relinquish that. I've been over here going on 5 years straight, on and off for 13 years, and I still got a lot of vacation mode in me. I'm going to go over my budget this month because here I am, I'm in Boracay, and just 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in Panglao, Bahal. When you're talking about living a simple life over here, people don't really understand what it means, but if you're going to go gallivanting all around this country, it's going to cost you. And it's going to cost you a lot of money. So the real truth is, yeah, the cost of living over here is lower than where you're from, but the raw unspoken truth is you're going to spend all your money because you're never going to be able to manage that budget. You don't have the self-discipline. If you don't have a budget over there, what makes you think you're going to come over here and just all of a sudden have a budget and be able to manage it properly? This is just some of the raw unspoken truth about the Philippines. Not today, sir. Thank you. That's the raw unspoken truth over here. I'm out here this is just a beautiful place. I love this place. I got a few tips for visitors, even people who've been here before, and some warnings that I just want to talk about now. One of the warnings is the food prices here. They're going to gouge you. The food is overpriced here. It's very few restaurants here that actually can, what's the word? I don't want to say, I'll just say validated to charge that price. It's very few. When I got here Wednesday night, I was hungry, I was tired, so I ordered an expensive pizza. Filipino standards, I'm saying. 800 pesos for a pizza is very expensive here. Well, they try to throw in a liter of iced tea, but it just tastes like cardboard with cheese on top of it. That's the warning, that you're going to need to walk around and explore the food choices here before you plop down 950 pesos for a cheeseburger over here. The hotel I'm staying in, they're wanting $7 for an order of fries. I won't pay that. Now the tip is this. There are a few places here, a few national franchises here who still charge their regular prices, okay? McDonald's, of course, Jollibee, of course. Then there's a place called Andok's, ANDOK''S. It's a Filipino restaurant that specializes in chicken, but also Filipino foods. The food is good, guys, okay? And it's their regular prices. One thing that I notice is different now than, this is my 4th time being in Boracay. It's different now than it ever was. And that's the vendors. It's just so many hawkers. Every 5 feet, literally every 5 feet, somebody's trying to sell you something. Now, when you first get here, your first trip to Boracay, it's going to bother you, man. You're going to be frustrated. I mean, you can walk past them and come back and they're going to ask you again. But remember, I made the video, I said the reason I've been able to survive in the Philippines as long as I can, one of the reasons I gave was understanding. You have to understand that this is their job. This is what they do to put food on their table. You're in a tourist spot, really the tourist mecca of the Philippines. And those type of activities are being offered. Parasailing, they'll ask you, scuba diving, ATV, island hopping, massages. And then, of course, you're going to see all the souvenir shops. So that's a warning when you come here. The tip is, already know what you're going to do when you get here. Have an itinerary. If you want to go island hopping, they won't have to sell you anything. You just go up to them and say, hey, I want to go island hopping. I'll talk to somebody in your hotel or something. Already know ahead of time what it is you want to do. And it won't bother you so much. And then, give back a little bit. Go ahead and spend a little bit with the vendors. It's your way of giving back, and then remember, you're getting something out of it too. Now you can fly into Boracay from Cebu, from Davao, from Manila, into Calibo or Cataclan. Now the plane tickets are going to be cheaper flying into Calibo, but then you're going to have an hour and a half, a 2-hour bus ride, a van ride to the island. Cataclan, you get to the airport, then you probably got another 5-minute ride to the jetty port, catch your ferry, and then come over to the island. Okay, that's probably the best bet. It's going to cost you about 50 pesos. Remember, I was talking about the genius that exists in the Philippines. When you get here, you're going to pay 150 peso terminal fee and 150 peso environmental fee. That's genius. People that came up with this, and all the employment that they offer on this beach is pure genius. The marketing, I would say fly into Caddy Clamp. Now, one thing you are going to get a deal on in Boracay is hotel and Airbnb accommodations. They made it so much easier now to get into Boracay. I see a whole lot more Filipinos here now than when I came in 2010. They made it so much easier now. You don't have to pre-book your accommodations anymore. You don't have to have all that vaccination cards, but you do have to have a government ID. Will told me he's staying at a place like with a kitchenette. He says less than $30 US, and it's Station 1. Because when you arrive here, you're going to have Station 1, Station 2, Station 3. Station 1 is usually the more expensive accommodations, the better beaches, the better stretches of beaches, rather, and restaurants. And this is where you're going to see all the nouveau people. As you go to 2, there's like a mix, but 3 is more low budget, more of the locals. And that's where you're going to get the lower accommodations. I'm actually staying right at the end of Station 2, beginning of Station 3. And I'm paying less than $40 per night. I'm 2-minute walk from the beach. Boracay is one of the places I said, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm going to buy me a condominium or a house right on the beach here. And the other place, there's only 2 places. The other place is the Magnificent Mile or the Gold Coast area in Chicago. Either one. Those are the only 2 places that I would buy. I mean, I enjoy it so much here. To be able to come out every morning and see this, be greeted by this, you couldn't put a price on that. But thank y'all so much for stopping by again. If you're in America, I know it's late because this video is being uploaded late. Excuse the breeze. I mean, it feels good, but I know it's going to sound terrible on the video. But my videos are raw, man. It's just the bottom line. If it's not broke, I'm certainly not going to break it. I think one of the appeals of my channel is that it's raw. You're going to get the nitty-gritty. There's nothing fancy about my equipment, because I get a lot of pushback about that. Why don't you get headphones? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you start your own channel and do that? Okay? Let me do what I do. If you're in America, it's late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. You don't want them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs. Just getting off second shift, or you're on your lunch break. See somebody on the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, I don't know what time it is. Let me look at my watch. I've got here. But remember, I'm retired, so I don't give a damn about what time it is. But it is 11:08 a.m. Beautiful Saturday morning. We had our 1,000 peso pandemic giveaway drawing last night. 2 of our lucky winners, Filipino subscribers rather, won 1,000 pesos each. Just our way of helping people during the pandemic. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.